Windjammer's back. Haven't made a video in quite a while, but I'm about to kick one off. Hopefully it goes well. I'm at Newfound Gap in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. About to start on a 2-night, 3-day backpacking trip here in the Smokies. Like I said, I'm at Newfound Gap. The Appalachian Trail is just right behind me. And there's an amazing view directly in front of me. So I'm gonna get a shot of that view, and then we'll start hiking southwest down the AT before we turn off. So time to get rolling. This is one of the views from Newfound Gap. I'm just standing right by my car. I'm not very far down the trail, but I'm alone now. I say that, but there's actually a road right up here to my left that goes to Clingmans Dome, because this little section of the Appalachian Trail pretty much goes right alongside this road until you get to Clingmans Dome, obviously, and it keeps going and the road stops. But I hung out in my car for a while because it was freezing this morning, and as you can see, the Smoky Mountains are living up to their name. That'll burn off later. It's still pretty cool. Yeah. It's nice to be out here on trail. The Smokies. Whew. It is a moody ass morning. I've been climbing for a while. It's leveling out. Yeah, look at that. It's going to be a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. But you can't even see out there. It's just straight smoke. Not real smoke. About 5 years ago, I hiked this section of the Appalachian Trail in the Smoky Mountains. So over 5 days, it's like 74 or 76 miles, something like that. I did the AT portion of this in the Smokies. And I remember this section of the trail as being downhill and flat and pretty breezy. But I was thinking about that. I was going the other direction. So I've been climbing like crazy this morning. But that's cool. Once I get to Clingmans Dome, which is the highest point of Tennessee, and I believe it's the highest point on the Appalachian Trail in general, the rest of my day will be downhill. But even though I've been climbing, I mean, this is just beautiful. Look at this. Not shabby at all. Hopefully, I'm probably about 4 miles away from Clingmans Dome. So hopefully by the time I get there, these clouds will have burned off and you'll be able to see the sights. Well, the weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse instead of the better. So I don't know if there'll be views on Clingmans Dome, but who knows? We're still 3.5 miles away. So this is the trail I'll come up Monday morning, because I'll be staying not too far down there. Hey, it says it. I'll be staying at Mount Collins Shelter, so it's just a half a mile down this trail here. But right now, we'll continue along the Appalachian Trail and camp in Goshen Prong tonight. Then loop back up to Mount Collins tomorrow, and then out. So yeah, I kind of like the moody though. It's got a vibe. right, I've officially made it to Clingmans Dome, which means I've reached the crux of my day, and everything else is going to be a beautiful downhill. Can't see it, it's just kind of back in there. You can probably hear people talking because there's a parking lot not far. But you can just park and head up to Clingmans Dome. So the weather's been terrible. It's still very cloudy, so there probably won't be any views. But we'll at least take a look. I'm glad the climbing's done for today. So there's Clingmans Dome. As I was walking up, I heard some little girl up there say, "I hate this." Pretty funny. But she might have liked it better if it wasn't so nasty up here today. Like that out that way. Nah. Oh, that's an amazing view, right? Can you see that look? Just out of here. All right, well, I've made it to my intersection. I've hiked 10 miles southwest on the Appalachian Trail from Newfound Gap. Most of that was climbing up to Clingmans Dome. Then the past couple miles have been a little breezy, and now I've reached my intersection. So this is where we go next. The Goshen Prong Trail. Get some water features here in a little bit, which is always exciting. I don't know how far my campsite is along this trail, but it's the campsite 23, the Goshen Prong campsite. And hopefully, as I continue to lose elevation, maybe the weather will get slightly better. It hasn't been the worst weather day I've ever had on trail. That will probably be the Pemmy Loop in New Hampshire forever. Hopefully forever for me. I don't want to repeat that one. But it's been pretty rough. And unexpected. I thought it was going to be about 80 degrees and cloudy with very little chance of rain, but it has been cold, wet, and socked in. But still been a good day. Well, the weather certainly improved. It's actually got some sunshine coming in occasionally, and it's obviously much warmer than it has been. So, the Goshen Prong. This trail certainly gives me the vibes that it's not very well traveled, which I like that a lot, especially when you come off the Appalachian Trail. And yeah, I saw plenty of hikers coming through, and it's well maintained. But then you get down here and it's just different. But really peaceful. I've not seen anyone on this trail, and I don't anticipate seeing anyone. There should be some people at camp, so I noticed it wasn't completely full, but I wasn't the only spot that had been selected. So, but this is peaceful walking right here. Yo, this mountain weather is truly amazing, because you saw Clingmans Dome. Insane. And now I'm walking in sunshine. And I can see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but you can see mountain ridges off in the distance there. Yeah, you got them. So it's just crazy, man. like an hour ago, 2 hours ago, I was freezing, battling, like 3 or 4 miles ago. And now it's very nice. What do you do? It's fantastic. We still probably have about 1.5 miles to camp, but I got a pretty little mountain view right there, and if you listen real good, you can hear some water flowing. That sounds pretty nice. Look at that. That is pretty. And it sounds amazing. So I think I'm probably about maybe quite a mile from my campsite. But the rest of it will be accompanied by water. Okay, well, I am home for the night. Campsite 23, Goshen Prong. I brought the Nemo Hornet this time, and the poles are broken. I made it work, but maybe I'll make it through the night. See, a pretty campsite. There's some people camping over there, a little over there, so kind of all really spread out. I'm pretty good that the creek's right behind me, if you can probably hear that. And I'm eating a little bit. I'm going to break out the map here in a moment. Oh, I saw a bear, which is always super awesome. And before I could get the camera out, she saw me and scooted. Really good. I watched it for just a minute. I was like, camera. Oh well, maybe next time, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, I'll break out the map and we'll take a peek at what we did today. All right, here's my National Geographic map of the Smoky Mountains. So today I started here, focus, at Newfound Gap and hiked the Appalachian Trail, down past Mount Love, Clingmans Dome, and I continued to hike to this junction here, which is the Goshen Prong junction. So pretty rough weather that whole stretch, about 10 miles. And then at the Goshen Prong, started heading down into this valley, and now I'm camped at campsite 23, which is right here. So about 14.5 miles a day, pretty long day, really rough weather at times, but it turned into a really pretty day. So tomorrow, continue along the Goshen Prong, take the Rough Creek Trail up to Sugarland Mountain, and Sugarland Mountain all the way to Mount Collins Shelter, where the plan is to stay tomorrow night. Sweet. All right, well, I'm in my little tent here, very little tent, with my headlamp on. It's about 9 o'clock, a little after. I was hanging out with some guys that had a fire going. It was pretty cool to hang out and talk hiking equipment. But I had a thought for the day before I go to bed. So this is I don't have a campfire here with me. It was over there. This is kind of my campfire talk for this trip. And positive thoughts message. So obviously today weather was insane and ridiculous and pretty terrible. And then it got very pretty. So when times get really tough and you feel like you're in a storm and it's freezing cold and the wind's bone chilling and it's freaking awful, stay the path and keep a positive mind, knowing that the sun's coming. That's what happened today. Turned out okay. Food for thought. Good night. Good morning, and welcome to day 2. I'm just down from camp, packed up on the trail. Have 10 or 11 miles to go, something like that. But unfortunately, it's a lot of climbing. again. Good news, however, is as you can tell, it's a beautiful day. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not far from trail. Rolling along Goshen Prong, you can probably hear it beside me. Then I'll turn onto Rough Creek, and at that point, I'll start what looks on the map to be a pretty brutal climb. I don't know, I'll figure it out when we get there. All right, well, I've hit my intersection. I'm about to turn on to Rough Creek Trail, and the Sugarland Mountain Trail is 2.8 miles down that way. It looks like it starts climbing immediately. But here we go. The Sugarland Mountain Trail is basically the reason I picked this route. So from everything I've heard, it's a very underrated trail in the park and very beautiful. Up on a ridge, lots of good views. So, and it'll be a beautiful day, unlike the views we were supposed to have yesterday that were socked out. But yeah, so 2.8 miles till we get up to the ridge. I'm not up to the ridge yet, but starting to get some mountain views. That's a pretty one. So continuing along this trail, I believe this was the result of a fire a few years ago. These trees and all, what do they be? I believe that's correct, I'm not positive. I've done a lot of backpacking, but I've had my first today on the Rough Creek Trail. I've actually had to do it twice, but this recent time was by far the worst and most difficult, but also kind of exciting. This whole climb has just been an obstacle course. I've gone, most of the time I can just kind of hop over a log that's down. There's been a lot of trees down, but some of them have been so big I've had to literally climb over. And on 2 occasions, I've had to crawl under. This particular occasion, I'm about to turn the camera around, as you see, I had to take my pack off and squeeze under. Here, I'll flip this around, let you see. All right, well, this tree is right down in the middle of the trail. And you can't really jump over it because it's very big and the top's slick. And you can't tell how steep that is, but that is not where you want to end up. with your body. That'd be a horrible fall. So really your only option is to squeeze through this little hole here on my belly, fighting through. Had to take the pack off because I had to throw the pack over the tree and then crawl under. Whew. All right, I've officially made it to the Sugarland Mountain Trail right here. And just in front of me is a ridiculously amazing view. So it was worth it. However, Rough Creek, an absolute gauntlet of a trail. Wow. And right before you get to the end, there's one more tree you gotta get over. Just because. Anyway, I'm taking a break here. I'm gonna show you this view. Oh man, well, the Sugarland Mountain Trail, it's got some beautiful views, but it's also proving itself to be a gauntlet. I just got over one log, and there's one right there and one right behind it in the trail. This is the trail. Whew. Slow going. Amazing view. You see down there, that looks like a Newfound Gap Road winding through the park, which would make way out there, Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. It is my crazy ass hiking along the top, dodging trees. Well, I have now physically crawled under like 7 or 8 trees. Holy smokes, man. It's a beautiful day out here, but this trail's beat me. This day, ooh. Yesterday was rough too with the weather, but it was still nice. But today, awesome views, but it's been climbing 100%, which is fine if I wasn't on an obstacle course of over, around, and under so many trees. So many. Well, it's been flat for a while, which is really nice. Get some easy selling along going. But now we're starting to climb again. At least the trail is very pretty. Love the little moss along the sides. But yeah, back to the grind. Whew. This has been one of the slowest days on trail I can ever remember for me. I'm not quite to my destination. I am close though. So it's about 11-mile day And I've already hiked 7.5 hours. Normally on a day like I would normally be rolling, I'm closing in on mile 16, you know. But it's tough. I don't think a lot of people go up Sugarland Mountain. I think that's more of a go down trail. Should be close though. All right. Well, I saw this post behind me as I was coming up and I got really excited. It's like, I made it. I didn't make it yet. That sign just says there's water here. So I'll show you that. I did go ahead and camel up. So I'm assuming the shelters, I mean, I gotta be so close. But this is probably the water source for the shelter. Right there. Got a little pipe spring coming out. So I actually have 3 liters of water now. Which I'm probably gonna need. And hopefully the next shot on this little video is Mount Collins Shelter. Well, look at what we have here. This is a trail, I mean, this is a sign. I just walked up from there and I saw it as a new sign, so I stopped and read it. And it says, warning, burned area. Please be alert and stay on trail. I'll go on down a little bit. Parts of the trail may be damaged and or blocked by debris. That's a sign for people to read heading down the trail I just came up. Lord Almighty. I've made it. And it is an absolutely gorgeous area. So that's cool. There's the sign. The shelter's just to my left. Probably people there already, I'd assume. Let's see. So the Appalachian Trail, just 0.3 miles up that path there. That's where we're going tomorrow. And let's take a look at the shelter. There it is through the trees. Man, this place is pretty. This place is really pretty. Anyway. I don't see anybody yet. Here it is. Mount Collins Shelter. Good morning on day 3. It is a little after 6:30. Very, very early. But the woods are pretty cool this time of morning. Slept terribly, but that's okay. I did not film anymore after I got to the shelter because not long behind me, a lot of Appalachian Trail thru hikers came rolling in, so it was a pretty packed house last night, which is kind of weird. I don't like staying in shelters, but it's whatever. Have about 5 miles to go to Newfound Gap. Most of that's what we've already done on day 1, so I'm not gonna film a whole lot. I'm just gonna roll on out. But good morning and cheerio. Looks pretty cool. All right, some pretty mountain views I didn't have coming in. There's Newfound Gap. I made it, babe. So let's get to the car. Well, we're back where we started. Holy crap. That was fun. That was beautiful. But my God, was that a difficult 3 days. My app, which I don't know how accurate it is, but it says that I climbed 7,000 feet in elevation over the course of these days. I really do feel like I have. My poor legs. But anyway, that's a wrap. I gotta get out of here. I gotta take my daughter to her dance team dinner tonight. Adios.